Special welcome to everyone tuning in to today's live episode of Crypto News Alerts. I am your host, JV, and in today's show, Bitcoin clings to $17,000 as ARK flags historically significant capitulation. That's right, the Bitcoin price action is suffering from FTX, but the centralized blockchains are as strong as ever, according to ARK Invest. Also in today's show, Bitcoin difficulty drops by its biggest margin since 2011. That's right, and this is amid difficult conditions for Bitcoin miners. Also in today's show, Michael Saylor on the FTX fiasco, unethical and illegal from the very beginning. That's right, Saylor calls SBF the poster child of the crypto world while breaking down his antics, which ultimately brought down the empire of FTX. Also in today's show, Strike partners with Bitnob to facilitate cross-border payments into Africa. That's right, on stage at the Afro Bitcoin conference, Strike CEO Jack Mallers announced plans to improve remittance payments into Africa thanks to the Lightning Network on Bitcoin. Also in today's show, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 bullish crypto catalysts for next year in 2023, according to crypto analyst Coin Bureau. We'll also be discussing a Christmas Bitcoin rally imminent, according to the crypto analyst who accurately predicted the May 2021 crypto crash, who is Dave the Wave. I'll be sharing his outlook along with his $350,000 Bitcoin price prediction. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. I want to welcome everyone tuning in to today's live episode, pod episode number 1125. Today is December 6th, 2022, and naturally we have lots to discuss, so let's dive right into today's market watch. As you can see, all the major cryptos are currently correcting, and in the red, we got Bitcoin down 0.5% for the day, trading back under $17,000, while Ethereum is down about 1%, trading at $1,250, while Binance Coin, XRP, Doge, Litecoin, Polkadot, all correcting and in the red. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we can see the current market cap sitting at $851 billion with about $36 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. And the current Bitcoin dominance is at 38.4%, with the Ether dominance at 18% even. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, we have Arweave up 3.5%, trading at $9.60, followed by ApeCoin up 3.7%, trading at $4.12, followed by Synthetics up 3%, trading at $1.90, and below that, as you can see, we have Neo, EOS, and Eunice, said Leo. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, you can see a sea of green, which is a good sign for the alts. We have AXS, which is up 34%. And somebody won't stop calling me, which is annoying. I just turned off the ringer about 4 times in a row. But hey, anyways, GMX is up 24% and SNX is up 14.7%. And checking out one of my favorite indicators, the Crypto Greed and Fear Index shows we're currently rated a 25 in extreme fear. Yesterday a 26, which was the same as last week. And last month a 40 in fear. And welcome once again, everyone tuning in to today's live show. We have lots to discuss, so let's dive right into today's Bitcoin technical analysis. As the $17,000 mark is where we're currently at. Bitcoin and decentralized blockchains are as strong as ever in the wake of the FTX meltdown, according to ARK Invest in its latest edition of its monthly newsletter. The Bitcoin Monthly, the investment giant, came out firmly bullish on the King Crypto. That's right, with Bitcoin price volatility ebbing into December, the industry is still reeling from ongoing FTX contagion as lawmakers only begin to get grips with the events. When it comes to Bitcoin, ARK is doubling down on its conviction and setting it firmly apart from centralized alternatives. The fall of FTX could be the most damaging event in crypto history, one of the latest reports' key takeaways states, while acknowledging that even digital currency group DCG, one of whose products the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust it recently bought, faces considerable pressure as part of the fallout. ARK delivered a key critique of what it called centralized intermediaries. Quoting them here, ARK's conviction in decentralized and transparent blockchains is as strong as ever. It confirmed the FTX and other cases like Celsius and Alameda suggest that decentralization and transparency are paramount as antidotes to the gross mismanagement that can be associated with centralized intermediaries, especially fraudulent ones like FTX. And as such, despite being bearish on some on-chain metrics, there was reason to keep the faith on the King Crypto. Examples to bear in mind included the resilience of long-term investors, a group refusing to give in to the temptation to sell despite the recent Bitcoin price declines. That's right, we believe this data point indicates hodlers' long-term focus and high conviction despite recent events. Today, long-term hodler supply is 72% of the Bitcoin total circulating supply as per the report. Now let's discuss a historically significant capitulation being underway. Bitcoin's realized profit/loss ratio came for attention. This now hitting all-time lows as reported. Profit-loss ratio refers to the Bitcoin transacted on-chain in profit and loss, respectively. Quoting them here, Bitcoin found meaningful bottoms in every previous instance, 2011, 2015, and 2019, in which that metric reached 10%. Ark commented, November's realized profit-loss data informs our view that a historically significant capitulation is underway. Now, Bitcoin traded around the $17,000 mark today, December 6th, into the Wall Street Open, and showed still attempting to flip the level to firm support after days of indecisiveness. Now, Ark CEO Cathie Wood earlier this year doubled down on a prediction that Bitcoin would hit $1 million by 2030. Send it and let's frickin' go. Case closed. What are your thoughts surrounding this bullish price prediction from Ark CEO Cathie Wood? Let me know in the comments right down below, and welcome those just tuning in to today's live show. Our next story of the day is another metric which hit a pretty extreme low. We're talking about the Bitcoin difficulty adjustment. So let's dive right into this, which is our next story of the day. Tough market conditions continue to affect the Bitcoin ecosystem as mining difficulty drops by its biggest margin since July of 2021. A 7.32% difficulty adjustment took place December 6th at block height 766,080, marking the sharpest drop in difficulty in over a year. This coincided with a drop in average hash rate from 264 exahashes per second to 245, according to data from BTC.com. The Bitcoin's mining difficulty automatically adjusts to the amount of hashing power available to the network, essentially controlling the rate at which new Bitcoin blocks are added to the chain to an average of every 10 minutes. The difficulty adjusts every 2016 blocks, meaning that this latest drop in difficulty will last the next 2 weeks. The adjustment can be seen as a reprieve for Bitcoin miners that have to endure the tumultuous 2022, which has left some small and large operators with no choice but to shut up shop. Sadly enough, and as previously reported, the third quarter of this year saw increased cost to produce new Bitcoin, coinciding with dropping value of the preeminent crypto and rising energy costs, which dug further into miner profit margins in the US as well as Europe, leading some operations to shut down. Now, the revenue of Bitcoin miners fell to 2-year lows at the end of November, exacerbated by poor crypto market performance and heavier computational demands. This eventually led to capitulation of some mining operations, which has led to a recent drop in hash rate, which accounts for the latest difficulty adjustment. The Bitcoin mining analyst Jaron Mullard shared his thoughts in a Twitter thread on December 3rd, highlighting that the most recent drop in hash rate is most likely due to increasing electricity prices. Quoting him here, many miners operate close to cash flow, break even, and will be forced to turn off their machines if market conditions worsen. Unfortunately, he also argued that significant increases in hash rate up until the second quarter of next year could be expected if the price of Bitcoin rises through the end of the year. So there you have it. All I know is this: it sucks for the miners right now, as many of them are closing up shop and going under. However, for those who are able to plant their flag in there and overcome these hardships, I think they will profit immensely over the long haul. But right now, with the Bitcoin price so low, it's difficult for them to remain and sustain profitability, which is very, very unfortunate for the Bitcoin miners. How many of you are actually miners, whether it be of Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any cryptocurrency? Let me know in the comments right down below. And I guess with Ethereum, that wouldn't even be viable anymore now that they are now a proof of stake versus a proof of work. But nonetheless, let's dive to our next story of the day. I actually watched a 2-hour interview late last night, like 1 a.m. And it was Michael Saylor discussing the FTX fallout, and there were some great highlights I want to share with you. So let's dive right into our next story of the day. Here we go. In a recent interview, Michael Saylor, the MicroStrategy executive chairman of major Bitcoin bulls, shared his perspective on the fall of the FTX empire. Saylor said that for years, there had been low-grade boiling guerrilla war between the Bitcoin community, opposite of the crypto community, over industry practices such as what he repeatedly calls coinery. In Saylor's perspective, SPF was the poster child of the latter. There is something ethically broken about being able to issue your own unregistered security. Sam and most of the people in the crypto world were always guilty of the sin of ishcoinery. Makes great point. He attributes such behavior to his perceptions of the crypto community's inherent problems, which are greed, arrogance, and foolishness. And from there, Saylor forayed into what he calls a diabolical twist in the FTX story, which entailed SPF generating billions of air tokens created out of thin air and issuing himself billion-dollar loans off of user funds. Very unfortunate, right? And while many have debunked the story of SPF and his mismanagement of funds, the community on Reddit applauded Saylor for his clear explanation of the situation, along with a straightforward comparison of Bitcoin. And one user wrote that although they don't care for Saylor otherwise, his explanation was one of the best in the entire space. I thoroughly enjoyed that interview, so if you missed it, be sure to check it out. It's really good, very insightful, and I always learn a tremendous amount listening to Michael Saylor. Now, this was not Saylor's first comment surrounding the FTX scandal. In the early days of the unraveling, he was one of the first, along with Binance CEO CZ, to urge the community to practice self-custody, sage advice, wouldn't you say? Now, the entire crypto community awaits till the December 13th hearing, which is scheduled exactly 1 week from today, which will investigate the collapse of the exchange. So mark that on your calendar, Tuesday of next week. And according to the committee leading the hearing, they expect Sam Bankman-Fried and his associated individuals to appear in court to testify on this date. So there you have it. Do you feel Sam Bankman-Fried is likely to continue to get the special treatment from the regulators, or do you think they're going to hammer him? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below, and if you feel he'll likely to serve any jail time. And with that being shared, let's now dive into our next story of the day. This is breaking news and a big deal for those in Africa with these cross-border payments, which are now facilitated thanks to Strike. So shout out to their CEO, Jack Mallers. The Lightning Network has struck Ghana, Kenya, and Nigeria. During a conference in Ghana, the Strike CEO, Jack Mallers, announced that the Bitcoin payments company has partnered with the mobile app Bitnob to facilitate payments into Africa. Let's go. Mallers made the announcement on stage at Afro Bitcoin. What an awesome name for an event in Africa, right? A Bitcoin conference in Ghana's capital city, Accra. He stood alongside Bernard Farah, a Nigerian CEO of Bitnob, following a short presentation of how it works. Now, money transfers into Africa take advantage of the Lightning Network, which is the layer 2 payment network built atop of Bitcoin. The feature is called Send Globally, and it enables instant, low-cost payments to Africa. I think this is pretty amazing innovation. Now, the feature does not require people to use Bitcoin themselves. Great to point out. Bitnob CEO Bernard Parra explained on stage the no transaction fee feature is currently available to Africans in Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya. And by comparison, remittance services such as Wise take a small commission, while Western Union can charge upwards of 10% for money transfers. While dollar payments are instantly converted into the Naira, Cedi, or shillings, which are the local currencies of Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya respectively, they are deposited directly into the recipient's bank, mobile money, or Bitnob accounts. And solving cross-border payments into Africa using Bitcoin would be a major boost to local economies. In Nigeria alone, $17.2 billion was sent in remittances to the country in 2020. However, according to the World Bank, for every $200 sent in 2020, the cost the sender roughly 8.9%, which is $17.80. That equates to roughly $1.5 billion lost in fees, or roughly the GDP of Samoa. Like, whoa. Now, if Nigeria were to eliminate remittance fees by using the Bitcoin payment rails, Nigerians across the country would benefit financially. And in Kenya and Ghana, the situation is analogous. Thousands of Ghanaians and Kenyans live in the U.S. and regularly send money overseas. Crypto in Africa has surged in the recent years. Remittance is one of the many reasons why. Now, Jack Mallers compared the overall experience to PayPal's Venmo app because it's an instant peer-to-peer payment. Venmo is a mobile app that allows instant and frictionless payment between United States customers. Mallers said the Lightning Network has just achieved dollars in Naira to dollars. The advancement is currently only available to Americans, sending money to those living in Ghana, Kenya, Kenya and Nigeria, English-speaking countries in Africa, although the rollout is set to continue across Africa. Well, let's frickin' go. Bitcoin taking over the globe. I love to see this. I love the mass adoption as the Bitcoin game theory is in full effect, and I think many countries are likely to follow. Massive shout out to the continent of Africa. I love seeing Bitcoin dominate because they need it. Most of the people in Africa, unfortunately, are unbanked. That's because they're not qualified by the financial institutions to even own a bank. And when you have the majority of the population in these countries unbanked, it shows you the basic need case, the real need case for the king crypto. And that's why we're making a big impact globally right now. So once again, shout out to Jack Mallers. I love what he's doing out there in Africa. Pretty cool stuff. Now let's discuss our next story of the day. I'm going to be sharing with you 10 bullish catalysts for Bitcoin and the crypto industry leading into 2023. So let's discuss some of this bullish sentiment because we all know there's too much bearish sentiment in the market right now. Now, a popular crypto analyst is analyzing what potential bullish catalysts can rip crypto out of its current bear market next year in 2023. Synonymous host of Coin Bureau, known as Guy, tells his 2 million YouTube subs that the U.S. Federal Reserve could be pausing its interest rate hikes in early 2023, which could offer some relief for crypto. Another Fed-related potential catalyst Guy mentions is the possible surge in demand for stablecoins if energy shortages this winter continue to drive demand for the US dollar higher. Quoting him here, when a country is experiencing energy issues, it must print more of its currencies to buy US dollars to buy more expensive energy. As winter approaches, the demand for dollars from such countries is likely to increase. The Fed's continued rate hikes will also increase USD demand. Citizens of foreign countries could start investing into stablecoins, therefore to preserve their purchasing power as a result. This would benefit smart contract cryptocurrencies. Guy also says the rollout of central bank digital currencies could indirectly benefit crypto. CBDC regulations could frighten wealthy individuals and institutions and cause them to divert some of their assets into crypto, according to Analyst. You can say that again. Now, Guy argues that the fourth potential catalyst is in additional countries that may adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. The Analyst notes Tonga and planning to adopt Bitcoin for the first half of next year, which could drive other small countries to follow in their footsteps. The Analyst says another potential bullish catalyst is big tech's adoption of crypto, mentioning Meta's upcoming NFT integration, which he says will be extremely bullish for smart contract platforms. The sixth bullish potential catalyst in Europe's upcoming crypto regulations, as well as crypto regulations that will be in response to FTX implosion, according to the Analyst. Guy says regulations will make institutions more comfortable investing into crypto. The next possible catalyst is if Ripple wins its legal battle against the US SEC. If the SEC wins, it can set a problematic legal precedent, allowing the regulator to crack down on altcoins of all kinds. According to Guy, as he shares here, a victory against the SEC by Ripple is the best protection against this outcome, for better, for worse. Other potential bullish catalysts for next year include the prospect that the World Health Organization announces an official end to the pandemic. I doubt it. And the possibility of the end of the Russia war against Ukraine. I doubt it. And the likelihood of crypto legalization in Hong Kong and Saudi Arabia, well, I hope so. And to watch this video that he did entitled Crypto Market Catalysts in 2023, Top 10 Lists, check the show notes below the video in the description. And what are your thoughts surrounding those 10 bullish catalysts? And are there any catalysts I'm missing out on that I did not mention that you feel is bullish for crypto? Obviously, 2024, with the halving being around the corner, once we're in 2023, I think the price action will start to pick up as we get closer to 2024. But let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below, which leads us to our next story of the day. We're going to be discussing a Bitcoin rally for Christmas. That's right, Christmas just around the corner, just 3 weeks away. So let's break this down, shall we? Check it out. Here we go. Crypto analyst who correctly called Bitcoin's collapse last year is predicting a Santa Claus rally for the King crypto. Wouldn't that be pleasant? The synonymous analyst Dave the Wave tells his 131,000 Twitter followers that Bitcoin looks poised to take out horizontal resistance of an ascending triangle. And quoting him here, Bitcoin Xmas rally on the cards. Let's freaking go. And at this time, Bitcoin is trading at roughly 17,000, suggesting a potential rise of over 11% should Bitcoin hit the analyst target of 19,000. So looking at Bitcoin from a higher time frame, Dave the Wave says Bitcoin is presenting an optimal opportunity for the long-term bulls based on his logarithmic growth curve model, better known as the LGC. Quoting him here, looked at soberly without the previous great expectation and without the aftermath of great disappointment. Current prices are both Bitcoin normal and optimal for those interested in risk and reward. Now, the LGC model is the analyst's attempt to predict the cycle highs and lows of Bitcoin amid changing macroeconomic conditions. Dave the Wave repeatedly said Bitcoin is currently at the buy zone of the model, despite the extreme bearish sentiment amongst market participants. And fellow crypto analyst Credible Crypto also believes that Bitcoin is gearing up for a bullish continuation. The analyst tells his 336,000 Twitter followers that Bitcoin will likely rally towards his target of 19,000, quoting him here, "No change to my expectations, still looking for $19,000. Bitcoin has formed a nice tight consolidation here after a clean impulse on the lower time frame, may dip into $16,000 first to take out these built up lows, but still expecting continuation up after regardless." So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with these analysts that we're likely to see a $19,000 Bitcoin price around Christmas in the coming weeks. Let me know yay or nay in the comments below. And speaking of this analyst, he also recently predicted 350,000 for the King crypto in an epic rally. But obviously this is not going to be in 2023, but here's what he has to share. Synonymous analyst Dave the Wave, he shares that Bitcoin could ascend to $350,000 per coin by December 2027, which is ultimately 5 years from today, based on his LGC model, as he recently tweeted here. Though 350,000 might be, this was in response to a recent Bloomberg analyst saying that, or actually it was not Bloomberg, it was Novogratz pulling back his $500,000 Bitcoin price prediction. And Dave the Wave responded, say, we might not hit $500,000 at this time in 5 years, but we can hit 350,000, which was outlined here in this chart. So let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto analysts. And where do you feel the Bitcoin price low is likely to be for this year? I think the current low is 15,500. Do you think for December we're likely to rise or hit a lower low, basically exceeding the current low of 15.5 and going below that? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. Also like to point out that Credible Crypto, another analyst we were recently discussing, is also bullish for next year. He has been calling for $100,000 to $150,000 Bitcoin price sometime in 2023, which would be optimistic to say the least. But with that being shared, now for my favorite segment of the live show, which is the live Q&A, where you can literally ask me anything. Good to see the fam in the building. We got Sailing with Twins, South Africa in the house. Welcome. Dustin, great to see you, fam. Ellen, always a pleasure. Tough Cookie, good to see you. Brownie, welcome. Digital Dankness, I appreciate the super chat contribution as always, and I appreciate all your generosity. Chuck Strickland, Bitcoin Trini, UFO Nut, we got Chill, we got Jason, we got Marcus, we got the whole crew in the building. I love to see it. That is what's up. Much, much, much love. Yeah, I'm a little late today because I had some obligations to attend in the morning, but I did not want to miss the show whatsoever, so that's why I'm going live approximately an hour or two later than what I typically do, usually because I'm here in Puerto Rico, and I usually go live at around 11 a.m. Eastern time. But today, yeah, I went live at 1 p.m. Eastern time. That's what's up. BitBud says the S&P is beginning to drop. Not surprising. Welcome, Chili Willy. I remember Chili Willy the Penguin from Woody Woodpecker. Great name, by the way. ARK is way down. Yeah. Absolutely is right now. That's why, I mean, a lot of things are down right now. What isn't down is the question. Dankness says, I would love to see $1 million Bitcoin, but I don't know if it will be 2030 or shortly thereafter. Great point. I mean, when will Bitcoin realistically hit $1 million? Could it be before? It could even potentially be before then. We also have to factor in inflation. I shared a short on my YouTube channel this morning of hyperinflation sending the Bitcoin price to $220,000, because you also got to keep in mind the purchasing power of the dollar versus Bitcoin. The dollar is going to continue to lose its purchasing power while Bitcoin continues to gain it, while even though temporarily the Bitcoin purchasing power of the dollar has obviously been suppressed due to the the fallout of the entire contagion of a result of the FTX debacle, but it is, what it is. Yeah, man, it's wild. So we shall soon see. Welcome, gang. It's good to see you. Ellen, pleasure. Chuck, good to see you as well. My family is all in Africa, says Ellen. I did not know that. What part of Africa, what country are they from? Good stuff. Yeah, I know crypto adoption in Africa is booming because people need crypto as a necessity because of their currencies falling apart and collapsing. So if they didn't have crypto, they'd be doomed. That's why in many countries, like I know Nigeria, people will pay a premium to purchase Bitcoin because it's so hard to get a hold of there. And again, they have their currencies are unfortunately collapsing. And it's kind of like what the dollar is happening in real time right now. Only a matter of time before the dollar loses all of its purchasing power, and then they have to roll out their CBDCs, unfortunately, the central bank digital currencies. Ellen says, I am hopeful for a new press, hoping Zulus get rid of the press soon. I guess you're referring to the president, Sleepy Joe Biden. I'm with you 100% on that. I would say the worst president of our generation, maybe of all time for the United States. Bowie says FTX spent $32 million for 30-second ads on the Super Bowl. It's funny how everyone is asking where their money is. And you make a great point. They had infinite budget. You know what I mean? They can just print money out of thin air. So when you're printing billions of dollars out of thin air, as Michael Saylor discussed thoroughly in that interview, well, you need to buy things. Why do you think he was buying up so much real estate in the Bahamas? And it may even be $1 billion worth of real estate. We only know of 100 million plus in real estate purchases, but can literally be billions because they were trying to buy up everything they could. They were buying up all the regulators. You know what I mean? It was wild. And do you know, even to this date, no charges have been pressed against SBF. There are no legality charges against him. That's why he hasn't been arrested. It's like he's being protected by the regulators. So it'll be very interesting to see how this all plays out. I mean, if there's no justice in this, oh my God, I don't even know what to say. Johannesburg, oh, that's what's up, in South Africa. That's cool. Good stuff. Tellingar says, yep, if the dollar value drops 50%, but the value of Bitcoin stays the same, the Bitcoin price would double. Well, let's freaking go. Yeah. Tough Cookie says, when I look at houses, there are a lot of gate walls and bars on the windows. Well, that's a good sign that it's a dangerous place to live. I lived in communities with bars all over the windows back in the day in Costa Rica, and it's because you had a lot of theft and people breaking into the homes and stealing your ish. So just note that. Greetings from socialist state of California. That's right. It's like California is its own communist country. I hate to say that, but that's the reality of it. Gavin Newsom, no good whatsoever. If I lived in California, I'd get the hell out of there. Probably one of the worst places to be. And let's not forget the insane taxes on top of it being a clown world. You know what I mean? So I feel sorry for anyone having to live in California, you know what I mean, at a time like this. Small rally in 2023. I hope you're right. I hope it's actually a bigger rally than what you're expecting. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Did get the most ballots. Yeah, I mean, all of the elections are fraudulent. Elon's already exposed that they were using Twitter, unfortunately, to suppress, certain information and things like that to make sure that the Democrats win. And so expect more of that. I mean, corruption will always exist. Why aren't they doing voting on the blockchain? Right? It'd be public. You can't cheat and make up fake votes. So there's probably ways to go around this to make the voting process realer, but also keep in mind, I mean, it's set up. I mean, I think it's fixed. Obviously, doesn't matter what side wins because left or right, you still have the same central banking cartels controlling us. You still have the same forces of evil, controlling us. You still have the same regulators controlling us. So what difference does it really make? It's kind of like they give you a choice, Burger King, McDonald's, Republican, Democrat. It doesn't really matter what side you choose. You're still going to get the same outcome. Ultimately, bigger picture, if you understand me, because no matter who our POTUS is, they still have to answer to the central banking cartels and the world's elite in which they are puppets for. So you have to keep that in mind. Chuck says the FTX fiasco was just going to hit crypto at a heavy-handed regulation. That was the plan from the beginning. It was crystal clear. Bankman-Fried was rubbing elbows with the regulators, trying to give them what they want so he can get ultimately this God mode in which he was operating in, where he could do no wrong and not get liquidated while everyone else gets liquidated. Yeah, it's insane. Drain the swamp 100%. Sailing with Twins says, look like the whole world is in turmoil. Facts. I mean, that's not a secret. All you got to do is go on Twitter and hear reports and videos from all around the world. The world has gone insane, to say the least, but I am hoping Bitcoin can take us away from that insanity, at least those who decide to opt out of the matrix and opt in to Satoshi. You feel me? That's what's up. It's absolutely hideous right now. Yeah. Gary Gensler, not a peep out of him. That's right. Has he said anything since the FTX debacle? He's been pretty quiet, to say the least. So let's not forget corruption at its finest. Yeah, collusion. You have politicians, you have bankers, you have Wall Street, you have media, all working with the mainstream narrative of Bankman-Fried to protect him, showing that he is innocent. Oh, he didn't know what he was doing. But use logic. Why do you think they're going out of their way to protect him? It's because so many criminals at higher levels up are being protected, and they don't want more information leaked that can potentially bring down these powerful people. Because like I said, Sam Bankman-Fried, yeah, he scammed everybody. He's a lot smarter than you think, but he is not as genius as you think. It's the people who are pulling the strings above him who is the genius mastermind. You know what I mean? The people running the show. He's just a puppet. He probably just, his parents said, you can't do wrong, Sam, just do you. You're now the CEO. You're worth billions of dollars. Do XYZ. And if you follow XYZ, all is good. You cannot get in trouble. I almost feel as if that was true. And Michael Saylor agrees. He said that in the interview. He said he probably realized that there were no liabilities that he would be basically have to answer for because of his power and with his family and with his connections. Let's not forget as well that Caroline Ellison, the professor at MIT, was Gary Gensler's professor. That was Caroline Ellison's father. So it's like, yeah, when I say drain the swamp, I'm not kidding. Like, I don't even know what else to say. I'm kind of at a loss for words. But let's just keep it simple. What he did was commit fraud, and now the elites, the mainstream media, and everyone working towards this collusion is trying to hide that fact. You know what I mean? And they're probably going to use this, unfortunately, against us to more reason to put stupid crypto regulation that is going to hold us back. Because there could be good regulation, but let's not forget the fact there is absolutely bad regulation. What Sam Bankman-Fried was trying to accomplish was bad crypto regulation. What the SEC has been trying to accomplish is bad regulation that can put an end to DeFi as we know it and change everything with crypto. It can change everything that we know. So do we want those changes? Absolutely not. We just wanted clarity so things can be crystal clear on how to operate things legally. But the SEC dropped the ball. They want gray areas. They don't want nothing black and white because they want to use that gray area against you if they have to. That's what Gary Gensler is all about. Unfortunate, but true. Ellen says we have Ted Cruz on our side. Great point. Santa is coming. I hope so, Tex Crypto. And I hope everyone gets taken care of. Wouldn't that be nice? So let's have a nice little Bitcoin pump for the holiday. Use your Sam Bankman-Fried voice. Okay. Hi, my name is Sam, and I'm vegan, and I just want to do so much good for humanity. And I'll do so much good for humanity, most people won't understand it. Like, I may steal $10 billion from the FTX exchange that you deposited your money on, but I'm going to donate it to the Democrats and towards pandemic prevention as well as climate change. So you don't need to worry at the fact I stole your money because it's better off in altruistic hands than your hands because I believe in altruism. And again, I don't even eat meat because I believe animals have the right to live. And because of that, you should give me all of your money. Wait, I already got all your money. And Caroline is buying coffees in Manhattan with your money. Isn't that ironic? With that being said, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Marcus Johnson says, how old are you? Take a guess. How old do you think I am? You can't forget to calculate my muscles into the equation. I'm just joking. But I feel like I'm in my 20s. I'm in the best shape of my life. So I try to get younger every day. I do things like sauna, very health conscious. I eat very healthy. I'm actually a vegetarian, but I don't pretend to be one. I've been a vegetarian since age 16, unlike Sam Bankman-Fried who pretend to be a vegan. So that's why I'm hitting Bankman-Fried hard, man, because he's just scamming from every angle you can possibly scam from. But I'm 39 years old. I'm going to be 40 in a few months. So yeah, and I'm looking forward to being 40. I believe that maybe like fine wine. With age, we just age and grow wiser. You know what I mean? Looking forward to that next chapter of my life. Yeah, man, I'm a vegetarian. I've been vegan for like months upon months at a time, but I'm not going to lie to you. Just because I've been vegan, I'm not going to claim to be a vegan right now, because I do eat cheese, I do eat eggs, I do eat honey and other animal-related products. I just don't eat meat. I don't eat flesh and things of that nature. And I've been that way for more than half my adult life. Age 16 is when I became a vegetarian. I was studying Kung Fu and Tai Chi. We were studying Walloon Kung Fu, which is Northern Praying Mantis. Awesome, by the way, one of my favorite martial arts. And I was doing Tai Chi, and I was very much into it. I'd practice Tai Chi every day. Right when I get home from school, I go straight to my Kung Fu school. So Kung Fu school became like my real school. And I was so into it, I was practicing my Tai Chi one day, which is like Qigong, the art of cultivating vital energy. And I couldn't feel my chi, which is your vital energy, something I was very conscious of for quite a while. And I asked my Sifu, which means your Kung Fu teacher, and I said, Sifu, I don't know what's wrong, but today, after all my exercises, I don't feel my chi. And he's like, Justin, did you have sex recently? Like, no, I don't even have a girlfriend, dog. He's like, did you masturbate? I'm like, no, I swear. He's like, did you eat meat? I'm like, I had pork chops, leftovers from last night before I came to the school. And he said, well, there you have it. When you eat things like pork, it disrupts your chi flow. And I had an aha moment, like, seriously? And that what led me to doing more knowledge and studying being vegetarian. And that's how I became a vegetarian. Long story short, Medellin in the house. Absolutely, Joe Voss, welcome. Good to see you as well. But anyways, let's wrap up with the big finish. For those of you just tuning in, here's what we shared in today's show. We discuss the Bitcoin price clinging to $17,000 as ARK flags historically significant capitulation. We also discussed breaking news of the Bitcoin difficulty dropping by its biggest margin since 2021, as well as Michael Saylor doing a long-winded interview, which I greatly appreciated. I listened to last night, and he says that what Sam Bankman-Fried did was unethical and illegal from the very beginning. No questions asked. Also in today's show, we discuss strike partners with Bitnob to facilitate cross-border payments in Africa. Stand up. Also in today's show, we discuss 10 bullish crypto catalysts for 2023, according to Coin Bureau. And we also discuss a bullish breakout for Christmas being imminent. And I also shared with you Dave the Waves, $350,000 Bitcoin price prediction by 2027. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below. And I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show.